Darth Vader sound effects for your pleasure. New video coming to you on how to hide your bad breath.
Just kidding. Mickey here with CarryTrainer, Drew behind the cameras and editing desk, and I want to talk today a little bit about respiratory protection. We often easily justify purchasing and carrying a concealed carry pistol, right? I'm going to put this back on me, took it off so I could show it to you. My Boresight Solutions Glock in a Darkstar Gear holster. Maybe you're the kind of guy like me that likes to have a multi-tool just in case you got to do something, or a everyday carry pocket knife, right? Maybe you're the kind of guy or gal that's got a flashlight. I bet most of you guys have 2, 3, 4, 5 flashlights, right? How about an IFAK, individual first aid kit, right? Most of us have such a thing. I bet some of you guys have something like this, armor, magazines ready to go, right? I bet some of you do, right? Nod with me if you have that. The odds of you needing this, pretty darn slim. But how do we justify it? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? The odds of you needing this, pretty darn slim. Odds of you needing this are pretty darn slim too, but all of these things are the kind of things where if you need it and you don't have it, bad day, right? Mira Safety provided us this mask. They're not paying for the video. I just thought I'd share it with you because it's a cool product. They make more than just this. I'm not going to tell you go on their website and buy this product. You can go there, nor am I going to tell you which cartridges to get. They've got all the science and data on that. I'm not an expert on that, but I have spent years of my life working with full face respirators on, doing painting, doing finishing, doing lead and mold remediation and abatement, and other types of hazardous environments where we had to suit up with full PPE. So I've spent years, literally years, sometimes crawling around in dark places with gear on. What I like about this, and this one is their tactical model. This is called the Mira Safety Tactical Air Purifying Respirator. Very nice packaging. It shows up with a lock on it, just so you know nobody's messed with it in transit. So I've already cut that off. But very nice packaging so that you can keep this thing handy but protected. Got a bag with some components. This is the actual mouthpiece, which is all shrink wrapped and sealed up. We'll open it up here. Probably gonna need a blade to do so. And then the filter. This is the CNCSOC. There's a bunch of different numbers. Looks like very high quality.
Nice mouthpiece. Luke, I am your father.
Very nice. What do we got to do to put this bad boy together? Looks pretty simple. Looks pretty simple indeed. And there is instructions, but I'm a dude, so why would you use that? Why would you use instructions? Looks like I might need to use instructions. I don't know what I'm doing here. Nope, I got her. This just presses on. Well, that looks pretty good. The canister I have here, filter pecan. I've got one of those, and I've got 3 filters. Got one here, the particulate mask. This is on their website, P3R. And then we also have the NBC 77. This one is like the big boy that does all kinds of baddies, radioactive stuff, like dangerous chemical weapons of war kind of stuff. I'm gonna open up the one that they sent with us. Something important as we're talking about this, and I may cover it in other parts of the video, is we really want to do a good job of keeping your respirator clean and in a dry area. So let's see how well this thing is fitted up here. Looks like we got to make some adjustments for sure. Tight, tight. Good test. There we go.
That's pretty easy to put together.
And it shows you different fastening systems. This is just one of numerous products that they make. I showed you me wearing it. I'll tell you a quick story. Last week, we had in our town a very significant explosion. I was talking on the phone to my dear sister Karen. She lives a mile or two from me, and all of a sudden, both of us hear, boom, it shook the house and all the windows where I was. And we simultaneously said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "I'm gonna let you go." I hung up, I looked outside and saw this huge billowing cloud of smoke. And I thought, well, holy crap, that looks like the high school. So I jumped in my truck. I'm not that I was trying to save the day, but I have friends and family in our little town. So I thought, I'm gonna go see what's going on. And as I got close, I quickly realized it was a gas leak that caused a home to completely blow up to smithereens. It lit other houses on fire. As I got up there close, this thing became readily needed and apparent why. Smoke, construction debris, noxious stuff, toxic stuff. You guys remember what happened to so many of the first responders to the World Trade Centers. People come down with all kinds of terrible conditions from all of that junk and burning debris that they were breathing in on site. That's one scenario. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure you've passed car crashes, car fires. I helped with a car fire a number of years ago after leaving my good buddy Paul Sharp's gym. Fully engulfed vehicle that we were able to help a lady get out of. I was sick, felt sick and nasty for days after it from all the crap that I breathed in for just a couple minutes that I was there. I wish I'd had that. Brings up the next point. Had a student call us a couple days ago. If you watch this, you know who you are. I appreciate you ringing us and sharing what your story was. He calls and says, "Mick, I had 4 dudes break into my house last week. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Him and his wife are homeschooling their 11-year-old son. Wife and kids go as planned to a safer area of the house. Wife calls 911, gets them on their way. Husband has his concealed carry pistol on him, and he puts himself in what is the safest position he can be and tells these people verbally, get the heck out of my house. I'm armed. I will defend my family. I will fight you, basically. And it took a minute, and they finally agreed, and they left. But he told me after that, he goes, man, I had stuff like this. He had a vest. He had armor. He had an AR ready to go that he had staged for such an occurrence, except it happened so fast that he couldn't get that stuff. He had what was with him, right? Better to have and not need than need and not have. Something like this is useless buried in your gun room. It's useless buried in a closet. This is the kind of thing that you kind of have to have somewhat near. A go bag, if you've got a toolbox that you keep in your truck or a bag you keep in your truck, but you've got to know where it is and you've got to be able to quickly be able to get it
on your body, right? Fitted, pre-fitted,
ready to go where it's not leaking. Something like this, just like your firearm, should be looked at from time to time to verify that it's in good working order and that it's where you left it. Do you need this stuff? I don't know. Do you need a firearm? Do you need a pocket knife? Do you need an IFAK? Do you need a jack in your car? A couple $100? I definitely am going to have it. Should you have one for your family? Do you like them having access to good air? Again, I am not going to claim to be an expert on all the nuts and bolts and ins and outs of respirators and the cartridges that go with them. I will leave that to the companies like Mira Safety for them to educate you on that stuff. But I firmly believe, especially now in this current world, that you have stuff like this, that you understand how to use it, that you test it, that you fit it. Maybe if you have a family, you mark them plainly. Get a silver Sharpie marker, write dad, mom, right? Whatever your kids' names are on them, and have them handy. This one comes with a cool little carry bag, and take this stuff with you. Don't not take this stuff seriously. Don't wait for the last minute. All this stuff with COVID, remember the last couple of years, I always kept in my truck, and still do, N95 masks, which if you weren't in the construction business or hospital trade, people didn't know what that was, but I kept that stuff in my vehicle all the time for work-related stuff. Now everybody knows what it is. N95 is not the same as a device like this. I think we all became pretty exposed to potential airborne threats in that. Plan, prepare, purchase good equipment from good people, know how to use it, take care of yourself, take care of your family, be well, don't be dickheads. Thank you, Mira Safety.
I am your father.
No, you're not. Thank you, Drew. Kick some ass, don't be dickheads.
Brandishing is probably our top claim. We get more claims for brandishing than any other kind of incident. It usually goes one of two ways. We get the call that I was involved in a road rage, or somebody was threatening, menacing me in some way, and I displayed my firearm and the threat dissipated. I've called law enforcement, they're on the way, I need representation. Or the one is harder to deal with is when we get the call and he says, I was involved in a road rage last week.
Oh, God.
I displayed my firearm, the threat dissipated, but now the police are knocking on my door wanting to know what I did. In law enforcement, the first person that calls 911 is viewed as the victim. What happens, road rager has called 911 and said, hey, this guy pointed a gun at me. Now we're behind the eight ball when it comes to offering coverage for
Sure. Because that guy's now saying,